Now, how about Michigan? Okay. I called this game the one I was most looking forward to out of the entire national slate. Michigan ran away from Minnesota, 49-24. And as I've noted before, I got some Wolverine buddies, and they have been kind of shy. They got like battered Wolverine syndrome. They're kind of shy about being exuberant about their confidence after this. Don't be. Don't be at all. We're not going to be on this show. I'm very excited. I'm overly excited about what I saw from them last night. I do not play this whole, oh, it was just Minnesota game. A lot of you did that. I've talked about this before. Listen, you can't be looking at this game beforehand and saying, oh, Michigan, upset alert, they're only a 3-point favorite. You can't be saying that before the game, and then they go out there and they just totally throw Minnesota under a bus and run over them, back up, go over them again, back up, go over them again. You can't watch that happen and then say, oh, it's just Minnesota. No, it wasn't just Minnesota. It was Minnesota. That's who it was. So that's a quality football team. That's a really good established culture up there. And this was a team that you were looking at, Michigan I'm talking about now, and saying, what did we actually see last night? Because a lot of times people want to overthink the room and they see a very positive reaction. They see a very positive outcome in week one and they want to overthink the room and they want to sound like they're on a different intellectual plane and they want to say, well, calm down, don't get carried away. Well, it's possible to not get carried away and still be a little bit excited about what you saw last night. So let me tell you what I saw, and you can tell me if you disagree with this. Number one, Joe Milton starts at quarterback, okay? Let me put it to you like this. I think Dylan McCaffrey starts that game if this were 3 or 4 years ago. Dylan McCaffrey's not there, of course. He's transferred out. But Dylan McCaffrey transferred out because it was obvious Joe Milton was the guy. I'm telling you 3 or 4 years ago, in a different offensive age for Michigan, I don't think McCaffrey's transferred because I think Harbaugh would probably be more comfortable with him. And as a result, I think you would have probably seen a 16-14 game last night. But instead, it's Josh Gaddis's offensive show now. We have said for better or for worse after that phrase the entire offseason. Maybe it is indeed for the better. Because let me give you point two. Not only did Joe Milton start the game last night, he was prepared. I mean, hats off to Michigan's entire offensive staff, in particular Josh Gaddis. Joe Milton didn't stumble his way through this game. Did he look like a rookie? Did he look like a first-time starter to you? For that matter, did Michigan look like they were breaking in 4 new offensive linemen to you? Not to me. They didn't. That looked like a team that had a lot of veteran presence. That looked like a team that had been there before. And it looked like Game 7 or Game 8. So you got to give that staff a whole lot of credit. There's been a lot of questions around this in the offseason. And all of them aren't answered in 1 week. That's impossible. But I think a lot of their internal confidence and their internal optimism, you can't say anything other than it was validated last night. Immediately, I doubt Josh Gaddis had walked off the field before he had picked up his phone and started texting recruits, getting in touch with recruits. All you got to do is say, did you catch the game? If they say yes, you say, all right, tell your mom I said, hey, talk to you later. That's all you need. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it. Keep selling that. And then keep performing like that too. So what do you look for next? As I say, keep. Well, now you got to start stacking those performances on top of each other because that offense hasn't arrived. If you didn't watch that game last night, you see the 49 there, and you would think, oh, they must have had a quarterback go for over 450 yards. No, that wasn't necessarily the case, but it was a nice, solid showing. He was, Joe Milton being the he, was plenty accurate enough. He was put in good situations, just like we were talking about with LSU and that quarterback situation. I believe this team's best offensive product is still well ahead of them. If last night was a starting point, you got to be really, really optimistic about what their finished product could be this year. So, I mean, they're all in. This is what excites me the most. There is no hesitance. They are all in on a new offensive identity. Quarterback gives them a legitimate running option in the RPO game, which they haven't had before. I mean, they got really solid options at running back. That offensive line was, granted, against a very green, very new Minnesota front, very impressive last night. So you just have to start stacking those performances on top of each other now. They've got Michigan State this week. Michigan couldn't look better last night, in a lot of people's opinion. Michigan State was horrific against Rutgers. Horrific. Can't wait for Saturday.